the NFL world just got shaken up. And believe it or not, the Las Vegas Raiders might suddenly find themselves on someone's speed dial. Here's what went down. Tampa Bay's All-Pro left tackle Tristan Wirfs is officially out for at least 4 weeks after undergoing arthroscopic knee surgery. That's a major blow for the Bucs, and it could open a surprising door for the Raiders. Before we dive deeper into this developing story, if you're a true Raiders fan, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to smash that bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's jump into it. Now, with Wirfs sidelined, Tampa Bay is expected to replace him with Charlie Heck, a name that doesn't exactly inspire confidence. And here's where the Raiders come in. Vegas currently has a few depth pieces on the offensive line that might interest Tampa, especially given the urgency of protecting their quarterback. With general manager Tom Telesco in charge and the Raiders in a strategic rebuilding mode, a trade isn't out of the question. Tampa might just come knocking. So the question becomes, could the Raiders use this opportunity to offload a lineman and gain future draft capital? Or maybe even package a deal to improve elsewhere on the roster? The opportunity is real, and the phones could be ringing in Las Vegas very soon. Imagine this. You're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Your star left tackle is out, and you're trusting Charlie Heck with a 41.2 PUV grade to guard Baker Mayfield's blind side? Let's be real, that's a gamble even Vegas wouldn't take. With just 117 snaps of NFL experience and shaky pass protection, Heck doesn't exactly inspire confidence. And that's why all signs point toward a potential trade, and the Las Vegas Raiders could be right in the mix. Here's why. Raiders executive John Spytek previously spent years with the Buccaneers front office. He understands their system, their urgency, and their deep respect for building through the trenches. If anyone can connect the dots between Tampa's needs and Vegas's depth, it's him. Las Vegas has some O-line assets that could be available, players who might not start but could easily outperform what the Bucs currently have. With the NFL calendar hitting mid-July, any injury panic forces teams to look for short-term insurance, even if that means giving up draft picks. And let's not forget, if Tristan Wirfs' recovery lingers longer than expected, this won't just be a 4-week bandage. It could turn into a season-defining deal. And the Raiders may quietly benefit by flipping a depth piece into long-term value. When trades happen in the NFL, they're rarely just about need, they're about trust. And if there's a name Tampa Bay would trust on the other end of the line, it's John Spytek, the Raiders executive who spent years helping build the Buccaneers roster from the inside. Those connections matter, especially when you're talking about protecting a starting quarterback in crisis. Here's the thing. The Las Vegas Raiders might not have the NFL's best offensive line, but they do have one of the deepest. Names like Thayer Munford and Jordan Meredith, and even mid-round picks like Charles Turner and Caleb Rogers make this unit surprisingly flexible. And that's something Tampa Bay desperately needs right now. Let's be honest, several of these Raiders backups are more reliable than Charlie Heck. If the Bucs want to survive without Tristan Wirfs for a month or more, someone like Munford could be the insurance policy they need. Now, why Munford? He's entering the final year of his deal, making him a logical trade chip. While he had some shaky moments at left tackle last year, insiders know that was more about lingering health issues and raw ability. When healthy, he's a better option than Heck, especially at left guard or swing tackle. But here's the bigger picture. The Raiders are quietly setting themselves up for long-term success. They want to win now, but they're also building for 2026 and beyond. If flipping a depth lineman nets them a mid-round draft pick, that's a smart move for a front office thinking beyond just this season. In short, the Raiders have the depth. Tampa has the need. And with the right call, both sides might walk away winners. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come calling for Thayer Munford, don't be surprised if the Las Vegas Raiders pick up the phone and say, "Let's talk picks." With Munford entering the final year of his rookie deal, and with Vegas having more depth on the offensive line than most teams in the league, this is a logical time to make a move. Tampa Bay needs a reliable lineman. The Raiders need future draft assets. The match is clear. And here's what makes it even more appealing. The Raiders aren't desperate to trade. They're in control. They can sit back, evaluate their training camp roster, and only move a player if the deal fits their long-term vision. It's about leverage, and the Raiders finally have it. In just a moment, we'll break down 3 realistic trade ideas Vegas could explore if Tampa gets serious. Whether it's a mild offer or a bold play, Vegas holds the cards, and what they do next could say a lot about how this franchise plans to balance the now with the future. Let's kick things off with the mildest trade the Las Vegas Raiders could pull off, but one that still makes perfect football sense. If Tampa Bay is looking for a stopgap option to get them through the first few weeks of the season, Vegas could offer Thayer Munford for a 7th-round draft pick. Now, that might sound like a small return, but here's the logic. Munford, once seen as a potential first-round talent at Ohio State before an injury setback, is heading into the final year of his deal. He's versatile, has left-side experience, and has shown he can step in when needed. But with the Raiders building around younger options like Caleb Rogers, Munford could be the odd man out when final roster cuts come. In return, the Raiders gain a late-round pick, not flashy, but valuable for a front office that knows how to maximize draft capital. It's not about giving up on Munford. It's about playing smart, knowing his contract situation, and getting something before he walks in free agency. And that's just the beginning, the next 2 trade scenarios. They're about to turn up the heat. Now, let's turn up the heat. Hot trade idea. Dylan Parham for a 5th-round pick. This one's a bit more ambitious, but very realistic. Dylan Parham has something every NFL team values: versatility. He's lined up at left guard, right guard, center, and even right tackle in both college and the pros. While he's not a left tackle solution for Tampa Bay, adding him to the roster could allow the Buccaneers to restructure their line, shuffle talent, and protect Mayfield more effectively. In return, the Raiders get a 5th-round pick, fair value for a player with starting experience and future upside. It's the kind of move that helps both teams. Tampa adds flexibility, and Vegas gains draft capital without creating a major hole. Spicy trade idea. Jamel Dean to the Raiders. Here's the bold one. Tampa Bay cornerback Jamel Dean has been the subject of trade rumors due to his hefty contract and injury history. But he's still a proven talent, and the Raiders' secondary could use help. In this deal, Raiders receive Jamel Dean. Buccaneers receive Thayer Munford and a 5th-round pick, possibly a compensatory selection Vegas expects to receive. But there's a catch. Vegas only pulls the trigger if Tampa agrees to absorb part of Dean's salary. If not, the Raiders lower their offer, swapping the 5th-rounder for a 7th to make the financials work. Dean brings playoff experience, familiarity with John Spytek, and could immediately elevate Vegas's defensive backfield. If Tampa wants to move him, the Raiders are a natural landing spot, as long as the deal makes sense on both sides of the cap sheet.